I visited Locker, and I thought, wow, this is cool. If we do this properly, this should be a real 5-star. In the days when 5-star was the best, now it's what, 8, 9 stars we up to or something. Sure. So anyway, but in that era, we can really do this well. But the boundary lines changed over the next few years, and we had to keep, working within what we had. And we didn't have this 10th hole. It was an ugly bit of corner of the golf course. And so we started chiseling away, and then we went down there. My architect, Guy Hockley, we went down there one day and said, what about putting a green out in the lock there? And there was an old fishing boat there, and so well, that'll be interesting. How are we going to do that then? So they shoveled a few thousand tons of rock out there and created a golf hole. The other ones I'm equally proud of on there, because I like trying to find the holes naturally. I mean, the 9th hole was there naturally. We're over the hill and then across the corner of the lock, and we was thinking of stopping the hole there, and I looked at the other side. I said, "What can we put this green in back there?" So that one was very natural. And the other one I like is it's 15, the par 3 up the hill. We just tickled that, which is nice. So that's the way you come in and find a thing. Right, this is the tee. Climb up the hill. Oh, this is the green, and we just cleaned it all up. So I'm equally excited when you can find a golf hole and you don't really touch it. We can say it was already there, or if we completely create one from scratch.
Now, does Dave Cannon get co-byline on this design, since he told you how one hole would specifically look better in front of a camera rather than playing it?
Well, he's got a good eye. He's obviously got a very good eye, and I think I've got a good eye as well, because Dave and I have done a lot of shoots from the days of Pringle shoots and all sorts of things, and then he shot both my Swing for Lives back in the day of real film when we shot the first one. Because David was very impressive then, because that was the days when not like now, they shoot and look at the computer and they can
look at the camera straight away.
Look at the camera, they got everything instant. Those were the days when it was on film and it had to go off and be processed. And when Dave would go, and go, I got it. And I go, you got it? Oh, well, we do one more. I got it. So, and luckily I was hitting the golf ball really well when we were doing it. So, because the skill is impact. Yeah. As you can imagine, when you've got, how many frames per second then?
Well, I had 14 frames a second camera, then it still wasn't fast enough for face on.
But for a photographer to look through a lens and go, yeah, I got impact, and you're like, yeah, right. And sure enough, we'd get the ball on the face, which was pretty darn cool.
So before we get to the Open, let's talk about what we're here for. What is your best hole in the world, and why?
Well, I'm amazed, because I didn't realize we actually come up with the same one. We've come up with the 14th hole at St Andrews. Because St Andrews is special. I hope you all get a chance to visit. Even if you're a non-golfer, you have to go there. I've taken friends there, and there's a buzz in that town. It really does have electricity from the game of golf, and the history is great. You go and see the tombstones, go up to the graveyards and see a couple of the old boys, Tom Morris up there, and. But there's something about that view. Number one, we always talk about there's the wow factor, but now with this new championship tee, which have gone back again, you stand on that tee, and there's out of bounds down the right, and then you've got hidden bunkers down the left, which you know darn well if you go in, you're dead. So that's a good start. So there's a scare factor of the tee shot. But then there's the strategy. After you've played your tee shot, then there's the strategy factor. I mean, and you've got three options. If it's playing short, you try and go for the green. That's the most of. Rarely plays like that. You either then lay up over Hell's bunker, which you can't see, which is a famous bunker. It's about as big as this
it's as high as
pit.
This room,
yeah,
from literally.
And it's got the faces are revetted at literally 80 degrees. It's just a straight wall. Famous story. Jan Niklas went in there and smacked it around, and then had to come out backwards. After about 3 goes. Or the other great one is you actually head up the other fairway, which is this amazing thing about St Andrews. It was laid down naturally 150 odd years ago, maybe more, and it is the most strategic golf course we have in the world of golf. It's quite amazing, where you have options to go straight or head up another fairway to get the right angle, and that's what I did in my Open Championship win. There I headed left up the 5th fairway, because there's a massive mound on the front right corner of the green, which is really steep. You can't just land a wedge on top of it and it will stop. Nothing quite as simple as that. So you have to come at a completely different angle to shoot up the green. And now the championship committee have found new hole locations way over in the left, and the green it's got way too much going on right now. It's quite difficult. So it was much nicer when they used the championship pin around the corner. And then for me, as you walk down, there's great views in the world of golf, of the obvious ones. But there's just something about that view as you come in, and you've got all the gorse and the bunkers and the fairways, and then you get the silhouette of the rooftops of St Andrews with the steeples everywhere, and the old slate rooftops and the Aranac. And that, in golfing terms, is one of the greatest views in golf.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult for me because my concept of my favourite hole in golf is slightly different. Because it just so happens that I got the most amazing picture there.
Was that your semi-one?
No, this is a rainbow.
Oh, the rainbow one?
Over the town of St Andrews, with
yeah.
the hell bunker in the foreground.
I've got one of them on my phone.
I got so wet that afternoon, there's no way to describe how wet I was.
Well,
taking that picture.
We're going to a venue that not many of us know about. In my time, there's only been the one open play there, which Tiger dominated. So what can we see at Hoylake, or what can't we see?
We can't see the wind, but because you can't see wind, but boy, when it blows. I played there we both played 1975 British Amateur. It's still to this day the worst weather I've ever played. It was about a gale force 8, honest. When you see the golf course now, it's now the third hole, around the corner.
First hole.
Which was the first in outer, which had the outer bounds from the range down there, squeezed in between the clubhouse. So you basically hit it to the guys will hit it to the corner now with probably a long iron, 3 wood at max, and then they play up 8s and 7s or whatever to there. So on this particular day, when it was howling to it, I hit driver, I hit a ping 1 iron, about this high, and then I hit a 5 iron in for my third. I wasn't a short hitter in those days. It blew gale force 8, and it was match play, fortunately. But if you shot anything close to 90, there's no exaggeration, anything close to 90 on that day, you won your match. It was absolutely brutal. Wasn't that worse?
I remember we had to move the tee on the 6th hole, the Aldrich hole. Yeah. Because literally off the back tee, that you drive over and out of bounds.
Nobody could get over it.
Nobody could get over it. So we're aiming for a path as wide as this. That's the only bit of safe ground you could go for, really. So they literally came out after about 4 groups had been stuck there for an hour, trying to get over this corner and move because it's match play. They could move the tee during the.
You could just walk to the next.
Yeah.
Well, Martin Keimer certainly fits this well-made, well-played theme.
Yeah.
I guess he's going to play well anywhere at this point, right?
Yeah, that's true. When you're playing that well, we all jump to assumptions, everything. When you perform that well, yes, you're going to. If you perform like that for the next 5 years, my goodness, what can you do? But as we know, there's a lot more to it. But the wind will be a major factor there, and then it sounds like the rough. And we were there six years ago. It was more than eight years ago, weren't we? When I played with Tiger those first 2 days, and because it was burnt, we had a heat wave up there. It was 90 degrees. The golf course just went silver, and the rough had completely gone. And Tiger only hit
one driver.
He hit one driver on that par 5, and he hit it absolutely over there sideways. And then he hit his 2 iron all week. And I came off the 18th after playing with him. I said, Tiger, if you're not going to use that driver again, do you mind giving it to Matthew, my son? But Matthew actually got the glove. How about that? Tiger shot 65 day 2, and he just took his glove off, signed the glove, and gave it to Matthew. So it was pretty darn cool.
Back to Keimer again. Plug his game into that test, and what do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, Martin, right now on paper, is going to be the hot favourite if he plays anything like the way he performed. Because it'll be a little different. Obviously, it's now ball trajectory. And when you get on a links golf course, the #1 thing is the flight of the golf ball, the trajectory of the golf ball. You have to determine that when it's windy, obviously. That is your absolute first thoughts. You stand and look and think, I know I can send this golf ball at that trajectory and I will get there. And then that determines, it doesn't matter about the yard, then the yardage is next, might be 165 something, but if it's got to go at that height, you're thinking, well, I can't hit the 6 because it's going to start here. So I got to think, well, maybe I've got to chip the 4 because it's got to go at that angle. So that's how I played it. So I think he has that ability. He's played Europe enough, and nerve-wise, the most impressive thing was his 15th club, was his demeanour for the week, wasn't it? I mean, those greens were brutal, and you stand on those greens, and you're trying to hold the putt or get it close, and you hit it off the other side of the green. Now, other guys would be head off, walking around, huffing and puffing. He would just give it a little side look and go, haven't done that before. Okay, and then move on. So, yeah, if you can deal with golf as easily as that, you're going to do all right for a while.
Well, stay out of the bunkers. That's the other.
Yeah.
Those fairway bunkers at Hoylake are.
They're all like this. Yeah.
Well, Dave, everybody's saying this was a boring Open in the fact that Martin dominated. But from a photographic standpoint, he's not the most demonstrative guy either. And that Open, in many regards, looked like an Open championship with some of the dust coming up. From
Yeah, it's a hard week for me. I mean, it looks great on television in a way because you've got that sort of wasteland areas, and you're thinking it's going to be making great pictures. But actually,
From your level,
it doesn't work because
Low
it's
down,
pure
yeah.
flat. You're
Yeah.
not getting anything in the background. So it wasn't that easy.
so don't buy the book.
Yeah. Nothing to do with the book for me. But no.